So made it to Denver. I actually took off this morning not having a confirmed shuttle or room at the training center, but thankfully both of those things have been sorted out. I have a shuttle, but yeah, excited to check out Colorado Springs' training center. I've only been to the Lake Placid training center, so this is a new experience for me, but I've heard this is kind of like the main Olympic training center in the US, so I think it's a little bit nicer, has a little bit more going on. And yeah, knee has been feeling better the last couple days, so I'm hoping that forward progress continues, especially with the ability to kind of utilize all that the training center has to offer. So yeah, excited to be here. Mile High City, baby. Starts now. All right, I've made it to the training center here in Colorado Springs. It is a beautiful Colorado day, but first gonna head over and talk to Dr. Finoff and see what he has to say about my knee, see if there's any non-surgical treatment options available that could help me out, and yeah.
Since this is more of a wear and tear, and while the run triggered the problem, you probably didn't have an injury in the run per se, then the goal of this right now is to try to calm it down, do some rehabilitation and see if things can get back to where you need to be in order to compete this season. Thinking about what might be of benefits to help you get better faster. One is just a viscous supplement injection, which is a lubricant type of injection. So that's one option. Platelet-rich plasma is another one that you could consider doing in your knee. But you draw up your blood, you spin it in a centrifuge, your cells layer out into different layers. You pull out the layer of cells that have your platelets in them. What it does is it reduces inflammation in that area. But it's not a quick one either. It takes 2 or 3 weeks to start ramping up, similar to the lubricant. But then in general, in people with arthritis, it lasts about a year. People who they do these studies on are not high-level athletes, and so your response to the different treatments is going to be different. It's going to be individual. It's going to be how your body responds to it. But those are two things that, from my standpoint, on top of doing blood flow restriction training, which you should definitely be doing right now, because that stimulates increased muscle bulk with a smaller contraction force. So it's much easier on your knee, while it gives you really good stimulation for your musculature to respond. Non-impact aerobic stuff, so whether that's on bike or swimming or even on the Ultra G. But those are things that we could do beyond what you're currently doing if you wanted to.
I knew I was going to have to stay focused and utilize all cross-training methods while I was nursing my knee to make sure that I could get back this season. During the week at one of my PT sessions, we did some testing on the Biodex, and I think this is where one of the biggest surprises came to me, as it showed I had some significant differences between my left and right leg strength.
The measure that we're looking at here is peak torque. Okay, this is a measure of the highest peak torque output you had during the test on your right and your left. It's in a unit of foot-pounds. It's a measure of torque. So on your right, you put out 145 foot-pounds of torque, and on your left you put out 82.8 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, when you divide the two together, it creates a deficit, which you're at 43% right now. In normal general sports PT recommendations, we like this to be within 10%. Folks after injury or after surgery have deficits larger than that, but ultimately we're trying to get within 10%. And we're going to work on that in specific by getting after your quadriceps from both a strength and a power production standpoint.
How long does it take to do something like that? Like I can't imagine it's not gonna be like a week. Like you don't get 30% better in a week.
Certainly as your swelling resolves and your knee calms down, you'll see this number improve rapidly.
Yeah.
But the actual tangible, real strength changes take about 6 to 8 weeks.
Like going back to sport with this deficit, like what's the biggest downfall to that?
I think you'll find that you can still do your sport as long as your knee is quiet and not giving you a lot of trouble from a pain perspective.
Okay.
You'll probably see some, noticeable decreases in performance with your left leg producing force, as you're skiing. I know depending on the turn that you're going around dictates which leg is pushing the most for power. So you'll probably experience some deficits, but I think you're still going to be able to do what you need to do. But as you see that deficit close closer towards 10% or 0, you're going to see your performance increase quite a bit.
I think there are times when we want our feelings to affirm what we want to be true. But putting hard numbers to something can help dispel wishful thinking. Seeing the difference between my left and right legs shows there is a lot of work to be done. But in the sport of biathlon, there is always something to improve on. I don't want to convince myself that I am ready before I am, and jump back into things only to end up farther from my target. I want to do what I can now so that I can be right where I need to be.